Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. So for one of my clients, I've grown one of their target keywords is called immigration exam from 1% page one Google rankings to now 22%. We went from November 10th to November 25th, a lot better rankings for them. And here's how the map has really changed. So what does this map really mean? So for example, let's just use a keyword that's going to trigger the map pack. I use the word HVAC, but you can use dentist, you can use plumber, you can use locksmith, whatever's going to trigger a map pack. When you search for that, you get 3 organic map pack listings that show up. So let's go back to the map over here. Let's pretend that I'm in a 1.5 mile radius in Manhattan. If I search for immigration exam or HVAC or anything else like that, dots 1, 2, and 3 shows up directly on Google search. Now let's scroll down to the next slide. If your dots 4 through, let's say 20, you only show up on Google Map search. So dots 1, 2, and 3 still show up at the very top, but your business only appears on Google Map search if you're not dots 1, 2, and 3. So if you're position 7, you show up as the 7th position on Google Maps. Now the problem with that is that for most of us, we only contact the first couple of listings, which is why dots 1, 2, and 3 are the most valuable dots because they show up directly on Google search, and they also show up at the very top of Google Map search. So again, one more time, if I go back up to the top over here, if you're dot 14, for example, that means you have 13 other companies that show up ahead of you for the keyword immigration exam, which is probably why you're not getting as many phone calls to your business. So obviously we want to grow dots 1, 2, and 3. Local Falcon does that for me. It shows me the visual of how my client is doing. So for the keyword immigration exam, we started at a 1% share of local voice, and then I can see the trend line of how now we are at a 22%. So I can look at all the top competitors, and my client is the blue line. But let's only look at just my client just to make this really easy. So again, every time I run a scan for them, I can see exactly how they rank. And then most importantly, when I'm making changes to their account, their Google business profile, making changes to the website, landing pages, etc., I can see that there is growth for them, which is going to lead to more impressions, website clicks, phone calls, and scheduled bookings as well for their service. Here's how the map has changed. So technically there's actually 7 scans, but one of them was so similar to the other one, and I only wanted to show 6 here to show the progression, but the top left is how we started. Then I made a lot of changes to their account, and it tanked the rankings, but really we only had a 1% page 1 ranking, then we went to 0%. That is okay. I'm looking for a lot of growth so I can get my client more patience. So top right, I can already start to see the map now really changing, a lot more green dots. Bottom row, again, we're growing out this bottom left quadrant. The bottom middle square, now we're getting more top left. And now the bottom right, now we're expanding into upper Manhattan, into Harlem and the Bronx. So we're building out our presence in a 1.5 mile radius. We're going to get, again, more potential phone calls, website clicks, and leads for this one particular keyword. So the steps to grow the page 1 rankings, there is far more than just 6, but I really want to break this down into an easy, digestible steps for you guys to take. So top left, run local Falcon scans, get the baseline metric of how you do, and also look at your competitors. So again, a lot of times people will reach out to me and they say, hey, I rank number 1 when I search for the keyword psychic or locksmith or plumber, but it's probably because you only rank directly at your location. The second you go out a 1/4 mile in any direction, you might fall out of that page 1 ranking, which is why it's really important to get that baseline metric using a tool like Local Falcon or similar third-party platform. Next, I review the competitors for gaps. So gaps are things like number of reviews, how often are they posting, secondary categories, primary categories. Gaps can also be things too, like their presence on third-party, directory sites. How often are they engagement? How often are they engaging with reviews? Anything from a gap analysis. That's what I'm going to do from the Local Falcon scan. Top right, suggest edits. So I do see this a lot. There is obvious spam that's in Google Map profiles. So obvious spam are things like keyword stuffing. So if your name is, let's say, Greg the doctor, and you do hyphen immigration exam near me hyphen immigration exam NYC, that's keyword stuffing out your profile. I'm gonna have to make a suggestion for that. Maybe do like a change name, because ultimately your keyword stuff in your name to get an unfair advantage over my client. Another example too is though having spammy and duplicate profiles. So I've seen this a lot as well. I've seen companies have, like, let's say 3 to 5 different profiles, all at the same location, same phone number, same website address, but they're trying to get as much market share directly in a neighborhood or neighborhoods. So if I come across that, same thing. You got to suggest the edits, because ultimately it's going to impact my client's performance. Bottom row, update my client's description on Google Business Profile. So I really want to go after immigration exam, and they also expand their questions and answers. You can do this both on their website and also on the Google Business Profile. Next, what I talk about is local schema markup. Bing from my experience, actually really looked at microdata for their ranking, and I believe Google does the same. Um, really make it clear. The way I explain markup data is almost like if you have a book and you highlight certain sections, it actually catches your eye. That's what the markup code's going to do. So it's going to say your name, your organization category, your address, your geo coordinates. There's a lot of micro data that you can put into Google and also Bing's algorithm to help you potentially rank a little bit better. I have seen that for a lot of my clients where I've inserted that into their HTML. And then finally, update the landing page. So what I did here was that they had a homepage on their website, but then they had a secondary page that I really wanted to link out to from like a testing perspective. So I changed the website address to go to a dedicated landing page, and I did see a ranking increase from that. So all in all, in summary, let's go back over here. What you really want to do is get the baseline metric, use a tool like Local Falcon, understand exactly how you rank, make the changes to both your profile and also your website, and then see how the map's going to change to then potentially get more leads for your business, because as your presence grows, so should the phone calls. Anyway, thanks for watching this video and stay tuned for the next one.